Welcome to Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks. I'm Michelle Fitzgerald, aka Fitzy, and I'm actually up here in Maine, still helping you make fabulous scrapbooks. I'm in an advisor training, and we've been having a great time learning all different types of techniques and fun stuff. And one thing that we were working on was the circle cutter. So I wanted to give you a few tips on how to make it easy to use. So let me just go down to my little workspace here and show you a few things you might want to know. All right. So this is our circle cutter. It's $26.50. And it's actually a really great tool. And I think a lot of people are a little intimidated by it because they just don't know how to use it. So let me show you a few features, and then I'm going to go and create this little page that I made here. It's kind of fun, but this is a simple one just to get you started. Okay. So what I want you to do is look at the bottom, first of all. This is what stabilizes your tool on the page, this little black round area. It's like, I don't know, a piece of rubber. And when you put it down on your paper and you push down on this big blue piece here, it keeps it in place. So you can move around like so, but notice how the center under my fingers is not moving. Okay, so that's going to help you make a nice even cut. All right, now on the other part here, you have, I'm just trying to get this a little bit of light. It's a clear plastic piece. And they have little black lines on them, and there's one on each side. And that shows you where you're measuring. And I'll get into that in just a second, but I just wanted to show you where that was and what it is. Now over here, this little hole here holds your pen. Now this tool not only cuts circles, but it also draws circles, and it's only compatible with Creative Memories pens. So as long as you have, I'm going to be using a dot tip pen tonight, but as long as you have a Creative Memories pen with a fine point tip, you're good to go. All right. Now over here is the blade. So this is where the cutting takes place. Now, if you look underneath, here's your blade right here. And it's good to know where that blade is. So when you're placing it on your paper, you know where you're going to cut. Now, when you're doing your cutting, you want to keep, like I said, a little bit of pressure on this blue piece here. Now, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold this blue piece down with my left hand. Let me put a piece of blank paper just so you can see. And I advise anybody who's using this tool for the first time, it's much different from the custom cutting system. So you do have to get used to it. But once you do, it is an easy thing to use. I recommend using this tool with the 13-inch mat. And what I like to do is just center my paper on the 13-inch mat. And if you notice on one side, the side with the pen holder, there's this little bump out piece here. So that's the center, okay, on that side. On the other side, there actually isn't anything here that tells you it's the center. So I took a ruler and just measured where the center is. And I took a black Sharpie and just put a little line on it. I've seen other advisors do this, so it's not my brilliant idea, but I think it's a real helpful one. So I advise you to do it as well. Okay. So if you want to change your blade, just know that this little piece right here is a button, and you just press down. It might be easier to do it when it's on the table. And here's your blade. Okay, so it just pops out like that. You pop it back in and you click it close. Really simple to use. All right, now let me just show you where the measurements are, and then we'll cut. Okay, so we have on this side in white the metric system measurements, and this is for the blade where you're going to cut. So this is all in centimeters. If you turn it over to the other side, there are two sets of measurements. The bottom measurements are white, and therefore the blade. So when you're cutting, those are the measurements you want to use. I'm just going to hold this up. Hopefully you can see this. I'm not in my normal workspace tonight, so just bear with me a little bit. And then the black numbers on the top are for the pen. So when you're drawing, you're going to use the black. And when you're cutting, you're using the white measurements. And this side is done in inches. Now, the only other thing you have to know about this, these measurements are 2/10 apart. So you can't just do a 4.5 inch circle. You're going to hear people say, let's put it to 4.6 or 5.2. That's how we do it with this particular tool. All right. So we're going to come down here, and I've already centered my paper. Now I want to center my tool. So remember the two side pieces, one place that bumped out near the pen holder, and the other place that has the white, the black Sharpie mark that we put on. And we're going to line both of them up at the 6-inch mark on your mat. And then the plastic piece that we have here, there's one black line down the center on one side and the black line down the center on the other. And we're going to line that up on the 6-inch mark, top to bottom. Okay. Once we have those 4 measurements in place, we're going to press down. Oh, and right now I have the measurement at the 10-inch mark, and I should have told you how to do that. And I'll tell you after I cut, because I already have it centered. I don't want to go through that again, but give me 1 sec. We'll cut and then I'll show. Again, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to push down on the middle piece with my left hand. And this is going to feel awkward the first few times you do it, but I'm going to come over my left hand with my right hand, and I'm going to press in on this white piece here. And at the same time, I'm going to push down on this blue thing here. All right. So when you do that together, that engages your blade and you can cut. Look how simple that was. Now, what you can do, let me show you how to measure. So let's switch the measurement on the blade. I haven't moved anything except this outer piece, okay? Now I'm gonna push back down. As long as I haven't moved this tool anywhere, I can make this work. There's a little white dial under here, and while I'm pushing down on the blue still to keep the tool in place, I'm gonna untighten the dial. And same rules apply, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, all right? Once you loosen it up, the piece that moves is the big, long blue piece. See how I'm moving that back and forth? But my center piece here that I'm pushing down on is not moving at all. That's what you want. So my last measurement on this was at 10 inches. I'm going to put this now at the 9-inch mark, and I'm going to tighten it up. And I'm going to engage my blade, and I'm going to cut again. You can go around as much as you want. And see, I didn't cut it all the way through here, but that's okay. I didn't move anything. I'm going to go back. And now I have a ring. How cool is that? And I can do that in all measurements on this. So this will go as small as a 3-inch circle, and it cuts just under the 12-inch mark. It doesn't quite give you a 12-inch circle. Now, you still need your custom cutting system. So don't go and throw it away, because it can cut smaller circles than this. And of course, you have other shapes to cut with the custom cutting system as well. That's hard to say. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning right now in Maine, just so you know. So anyway, I'm going to show you a quick, using all the techniques that I just showed you. I'm going to make that little page we saw in the beginning. So I'm going to center my paper. All right, and I am going to put my dial, and now I can show you. I'm going to loosen it up, and I'm going to move this plastic piece to the 10-inch mark, and I'm going to tighten that up. And now I'm going to do all my centering here. So I'm going to line up with my 2 6-inch marks on either side. And then I'm going to line up my 2 black lines on the plastic piece, also at the 6-inch mark, top and bottom. All right, and when it looks good and centered, I'm going to take my left hand because I'm a righty, and I'm going to push down. And with my right hand, I'm going to come over. I'm going to engage my blade by pushing in and down, and I'm going to cut my circle. Look at that. All right, now, here's how we make this really simple. Let me get my tape runner here. I'm attaching this to one of those free card stocks that we get in our paper packs. Those are very useful and they're photo safe, so never be afraid to use those. And look at this quick, easy layout. And now you know how to use a tool that you may have been a little intimidated by before, and now you know how to use it. So my advice is practice, practice, practice. That's what makes it more comfortable for you. And I'm just going to show you one more thing using a pen, just so you can see how the pen works. It's the same idea, but instead of cutting, you're drawing. So center your paper on your mat. And now this time we're going to be using the little pen holder here. So I'll keep it at the 10-inch mark, and I'll center it at each 6-inch line on both sides and top and bottom. All right, and then I'm going to pick a pen. We'll do this pretty blue one. These are one of our dot tip pens. Now, the thing with the pen, as soon as you put it in, you want to start drawing so you don't get like little spots. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So before you put the pen in, press down with whatever hand you press down with, drop the pen in, and just start your engines. All right. And now I can change my measurement. Let me move it over this way. And while I'm changing, I'm going to lift the pen out. Let's make it a little bigger. So I'm going to move this 7-inch mark. I think I started about 4. And look at that. The little light, I don't have the best lighting here, but you can get the idea. Look at that. How fun. So now you can draw with this. See? There we go. And you can cut. And now you know how to use both tools. All right. So that is all I have for you tonight. I hope you liked this video. And if you did, I want to tell you a little bit about it. You are watching Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks, where you're going to learn techniques and tips and tricks and all kinds of fun things. My Facebook group is FRQ Glitz Girls Scrapbooking Group. We're a free community of scrappers where we learn to, we share, we learn, we get motivation and support, and we actually just have a lot of fun. We have a great time there. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to me at Fitzy's Fabulous Scrapbooks at gmail.com. And if you don't already have an advisor and you would like one, I would love to be your advisor. So feel free to go onto my website. If you like this tool, or if you don't have it yet, you really do need to get it. It's a great tool. feel free to go to on my website and check it out. And all I'm going to ask you to do now is, if you like this video, please click the like button. And I hope you'll subscribe and to my channel so you can get future videos. And once you hit the subscribe button, click on the little bell icon and you'll be able to get notified every time I put a new video out. And the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is stay tuned every Sunday night at 8 p.m. because I put my videos out on that day and that time every week. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all soon, and I hope you have fabulous scrap